Hi F2Pers, it's Goodfellow from F2P.com, and today we are checking out Snow from Poppermost. This is the first game that they've developed. They're focusing on action sports type games, and this game is their winter sports release. So it's essentially skiing at the moment. There's no snowboarding or anything. It is just a skiing game. Now, this is a first look video, but it's not the first time I have looked at it. I've kind of had a little bit of a play with the game to try and get the most out of it. And so this is going to be a first look rundown of the basic features and things like that. So a little bit different to how we'd normally do things. The game is currently in closed alpha. I'm not sure at what stage with this. I mean, it's early access that we're getting. And it's going to be going into closed beta very shortly. I think it's next month it goes in. So we're going to check it out, and I'm going to try and... When I first played it, I had a few expectations in my head of what it was going to be like, and they were wrong. So what we're going to start with first is the store, and you've got loads of different options. I think you've got up to like 11 maybe different slots for customizing your character, you know, with gear, helmets, as you can see at the top. You know, we've got a pumpkin mask there, which is great. I can't actually remember how to get that mask. Oh, there we go. It'll be under your helmets, I guess. There we go. So we've got, you know, hats, top hats, knight's helmet, Santa's hat. So all different kind of stuff. And the Russ Henshaw Red Bull helmet. So, like I said, lots of different customization options. At the moment, we don't have the ability to play with other players. So you've got the alone or together options. The together is basically lets you make a lobby or join a lobby and play with other players. We don't have any of that at the moment. It's alpha. Whether it's a feature that hasn't been available at all, whether it's one that's not finished, or whether it's one that's just not available for testing, don't know. That character customization basically takes you to the store. The achievement opens up your Steam window because the game is accessed through Steam, so it shows your Steam achievements, so we don't need to check out any of that stuff for now. I've got the graphics cranked up to full. It is developed with Crytek Engine, and it's going to be coming to the PlayStation 4 as well, so obviously it's got... well, I don't know, I think consoles kind of hold back PC graphics, but whatever. There's other kind of cool stuff with it. You can play with PC, obviously, or you can use control pad. And there's something else that I'm going to touch upon shortly. So we've got currently 3 different maps. There's no events at the moment. The leaderboard is nothing. And I'm going to explore them all individually. So I'm going to finish with Cialia. I'm going to start with we'll go with Big Air. So sometimes the game will crash, so I'm going to have to start the video, especially when you're kind of switching between zones. But we'll see how it goes. So it's using basic WASD for movement. And you can use your mouse for kind of panning the camera a little bit, but that's about all it does. And when you're doing, well, I'm kind of pushing forward at the moment, and then if I keep holding forward, I do a front flip. And we stop. So kind of the main graphics are kind of being worked on. Obviously this stuff over here, it's a little bit weaker. You'll also see that in comparison to what was in the store with the graphics, what we were wearing, it was actually pretty blocky, bad textures, but when you get into the game it's a lot better. So WASD obviously kind of controls me, lets me go forward, lets me push, and then once you pick up a certain amount of speed, you'll kind of crouch down. You've also got, I mean, you don't even really need to use the mouse at all. And there's only so far we can go of a fashion with this area. But you've also got the control keys for doing grabs and stuff. Obviously we showed you us doing a flip, but you have the option, unlike many games of this type, you can actually go off-piste, so we can go roaming around, and that is intentional. They've not kind of forgot to add a barrier. The game is more of a sandbox skiing freestyle MMO. Although currently lacking more in the MMO because, because that part of the game isn't currently available to us. So, you know, we can kind of ski around. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And once you wipe out, if you hit a tree or something, then you get to choose where you spawn. But I've not massively explored this particular area. Obviously, there's lots of kind of buildings and features and areas to explore. The graphics are okay, and they're better in some places than they are in others. The further you head out from the main portion of a map, the worse the graphics get. Kind of trees in particular, and I'll show you later that they become more of a kind of cardboard cutout. So we've probably got as far as we need to go on this one. So I can hit R and just bail, and I can either respawn, and on this you've only got one spawn location. So I'm gonna choose a different mountain. We're gonna try. We'll go with Foci. We'll stick with Foci. It's more child safe. Okay, so the game has crashed. Gonna log out, come back in a sec. Okay, so we're back on the Foci map, and gonna jump straight in. I don't know if I can do it before we start. Okay, no. So once we start going, and we're gonna keep ourselves held back. You've got the numpad up and down, and you might be able to do it on this map, or maybe not. Okay, this looks like it is a night map. So little jump there. Woo! Don't know how to grind down rails. They are everywhere, but I'm not sure it's just landing and positioning, because it's not something we've managed to master. Now, one of the things with this game, in comparison to other skiing or snowboarding games you might have played previously, is that it's oh god, I suck. You don't have to start at the top, by the way. I'm just kind of choosing to see if I can get a better run. I can't even get past the first part. Okay, so it's realistic. That's the idea of the game, in comparison to other games such as SSX Tricky or Cool Borders, that kind of thing. I don't actually know how to spin back round. Woohoo! Check me out! Backflip. Can I just ride up there, I wonder? Whoa! I'm going all the way down backwards. Okay, there we go. We finally turned around. So yeah, so it's not like holding down a button and then when you release it you do like a million flips and tricks and stuff like that. It's supposed to be realistic, where it's the type of tricks you can you can typically do in the real world. So that is something, crunch, that you have to get into your head when you're playing it. When I first started playing it, I was like, God, it's really hard to do stunts. Well, yeah, it's because it's pretty hard to do stunts in... Oh, yeah, a little grind there. Just wish I knew how to spin back around. Oh, yeah, we're on it. Oh, noes. Oh, noes. Oh. I just want to do a half flip. Come on, 180 me. There we go. So, yeah, once you kind of get over the idea that you're going to be doing, you know, like 1080 rotations and stuff like that. I mean, you might be able to if you get enough air, I guess. I don't know how to do... Whoa! So close. Okay, so I'm going to call that one. And we'll go on a different mountain. Yeah, so you just have to... The ragdoll effects are brilliant. Look at that! Oh dear. Right, hopefully it won't crash. It may very well do, but we'll see. Sometimes that's problems switching between the maps. Yeah, so it's kind of it's freestyle, it's sandbox, it's realistic. That's the general idea of the game. So this is the big map, okay? This is kind of like the main one. And I think that's kind of the main issue with the game when people first start playing it, perhaps, that when you kind of come in and you've got like this ramp area, you know, you've got this tube, you've got two maps that are kind of geared towards doing stunts. People are probably thinking, oh, well, this is a game for, you know, doing stunts and stuff, and it's not really. It is more of a skiing simulator than anything else. And obviously, you know, you've got this kind of behind the viewpoint. That was a rubbish. I want to try and grind a rail. Let's try and grind one. Nope, that's not going to work. If I hit space, then it just resets me at the point where I just fell off, like a few seconds before it, as opposed to nope, as opposed to having to start again at the beginning. But you can see your score in the bottom left, which kind of resets, which is more a personal goal type thing, because right now there is no objectives with the game. So it doesn't really matter too much. Okay, we're going to go with a backflip on this one. Yeah! Oh noes! Oh noes! Oh yes! I've mastered it! Come on! That's pretty cool. Okay, so we've reached the end of our run, and then we can just kind of go off-piste again. So again, you've got these options for... Oh, we went too far! Overextended ourselves a little bit. Okay, so let's hit the spawn, and we can choose different... See, on the other maps you don't have the option of doing this, whereas with this one you do. So I don't think I actually ever spawned from East Waterridge. So there's lots of different locations to start from, and I'm not sure how different they all are necessarily. You have to be careful as well, because you push forward for like leaning forward and kind of skiing once you're slowing down. But when you actually go off a jump, you have to be careful of not to lean forward, otherwise you do that. So that's kind of one thing that took me a while to kind of realise. So the main idea of the game with the freestyle element is to find your own lines, your own ski routes, you know, and you can kind of come up with whatever you like. And I think that's kind of the idea of the game for people. You know, it's got an enjoyable element to it. Now, I think the bigger issue is that that's pretty much all there is. So for a lot of people, it's going to be a little bit boring, a little bit samey. You know, you're kind of doing the same thing all the time. You know, it's not really one thing or another. It's not a skiing game per se. It's not like trying to do tricks and stuff all the time. But you know, it's pretty cool. I think this is kind of one of the most fun. Oh, good lord! It's quite a fun element, you know, just trying to go as quickly as you can between all these places. Oh dear, wiped out. And basically getting as long a run as you possibly can. However, and I'm going to try this one first, the thing that's going to make this game great, in my opinion, is that it is being designed and made with the Oculus Rift in mind. So anybody who's been living under a rock doesn't know what the Oculus Rift is virtual reality. You wear the headset, it's going to be a home device, and as you turn your head, you'll be looking around. So the game is going to support and is being made for the Oculus Rift, which is great, especially when you go into your first-person view mode. Now you imagine this with an Oculus Rift. You know, once they kind of nail these graphics a little more, it almost feels like, I mean, I don't know, I've never been skiing, but it feels like that's, you know, this is what it'll be like. Everything's got like a little bit of blur when you're going so fast. You kind of crashing through trees. I mean, trying not to crash. But even this now, I'm just getting excited at the idea of how fast I'm going between these trees. Now, you put a fan in front of my face so that I've got the wind blowing on me, and I've just noticed I'm even getting more excited as I speak. Oh no! I did a roll! Didn't mean to! Oh, yes! Oh, good lord. Oh, not into that! Not into that! Oh no! Crunch, crunch, crunch. Yeah, I noticed I was getting excited. That was great. That was so much fun. And And this kind of game definitely, I feel, will make it worth investing in the Oculus Rift and this game as well. I mean, this is a free-to-play game. You know, you can't forget that. And so, you know, once I hear how fast I'm going, because the wind is blowing in my, I've got my headset on, so the wind and the snow crunching under your feet is going. It's it's really tense. If only I remember to let go of the forward key, so I'm not always leaning forward. So obviously that's one route down the mountain. We can try going another route, and again, it's just finding your own lines all the time. But and here's the, you know, this is kind of probably the strongest part about the game. I think the problem is that it's also very niche. Not everybody's going to have an Oculus Rift. And for the players that don't, I don't know whether the game stands up on its own. I mean, it's okay. You know, it's a little bit interesting, but it's not going to be anywhere near as exciting as this is. My only issue at the moment is that with the alpha test is I can't turn off the music. I would love to be playing this. Ooh, bit of a rock hit me there. I'd love to be playing this with just the sound. For me personally, anyway. So, okay, I'm going to go all the way along here. I'm going to cut through these trees, I think, and try and reach the dam that way. Oh, can't see a thing. Don't know whether that's because I was leaning forward. Ah, ragdoll. Oh. Ah, still going. I think that's just my head flopping about, even though I'm still. Oh no, I'm still falling. Okay, let's try again. I'm just going to go all the way down. I'm going to keep it simple. I'm not going to go crazy, but I am going to go off this. Okay, I went a little bit crazy. And that's quite hard because you can't actually tell what you're doing with the stunts, but I imagine they're a lot more rewarding when you land them and you kind of see in the bottom right what you've just performed, perhaps. I'm going to go off this roof. The roof of this house. That's where I'm going. Oh no, I'm not. I'm going to go into that. Okay, last time. So yeah, so game currently in alpha. It's going to be going into closed beta, then hopefully open beta for the rest of you. Accessible through Steam. I believe you can purchase it to try it out. If you've got an Oculus Rift, definitely get it. It's definitely the game for that. Oh no! So I did a roll again. Keep forgetting to let go of the forward key. And you know, given how we've kind of reached such a good point in this review, I'm not actually going to go and show it. I was originally considering going and showing the kind of the bad blotchy graphic areas, but I think it's just going to detract from the from the game and the experience that I think. Oh, I leaned forward a little bit too much. Anyway, let's watch as I crumble into the ground and my head is decapitated from its body. So, there you go. Let's get back into this mode. It's just so cool. And I'm going to go up and I'm just going to jump into whatever this is. Ah, crunch. So, there you go, guys. Hopefully you stuck through the video, so you actually got to see the first-person mode. I think we can all agree that it's going to be a very, very interesting game for players with an Oculus Rift. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, then please give us a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and you will find out when we have more videos and first looks, alpha, beta, all that good stuff. If you check out our Facebook or our Twitter at f2pcom, you'll find out all about our competitions, reviews, articles, interviews, all that kind of good stuff. You can also check out our official website at f2p.com. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I have been Goodfellow, as ever you have been you. This has been Snow, and hopefully we shall see you in the next video. Bye bye!